So this was the hospital I was in. But it was a good hospital. They had all the equipment they needed, and most of all, they had this wonderful guy, Nelson Zepeda, Dr. Zepeda, who, well, the end of the story is I lived. Kind of hard to tell that story with any suspense because I'm standing here, but I was so happy to be alive. I was euphoric about being alive. And I immediately started taking notes on it. And what was interesting, you know, I had never thought that I would have this reaction to almost dying, because I really thought, before I went under the anesthetic, I thought that I might not wake up. And I said to the producer of the show, you know, I want to tell you a few things that you can tell my wife, Arlene, and my children and grandchildren. And he said, oh, all right, wait, I'll get a pen. So it was all very matter of fact, you know. And that's what amazed me, is that I wasn't nervous and frightened. I always thought up until then that I wanted to die in my sleep if I ever died, you know, if I ever died. And I mean, I just didn't want to notice it, you know. But here I was, not only noticing it, but I was just taking care of business. It was amazing, and it really changed the way, once you come that close to it, at least under those circumstances. I mean, it happened so suddenly. I didn't get a diagnosis that then I had to look forward to it for a year or something. It was going to happen that night or not. And I was in so much pain. I would have been glad to check out. I mean, I really didn't like the pain I was in. So what happened was I don't remember anything about what I said in those last words. Because they were all pedestrian things, I think. I love you, you know, take care of the kids. I don't know what it was. And two of our daughters came down to visit La Serena when I was recuperating for a few days, you know, to celebrate that I was still there. And our middle daughter, Elizabeth, is really funny. And she said, wait a second. She said, you dictated your last words? I said, yeah. She said, well, what did you say? I said, I don't know. I don't remember. She said, well, we have to find out. Maybe you left everything to me. It's so nice to have support from your family like that, loving kids. So I started writing about Chile, and I wrote a long piece about it. And that became one of the chapters in the book. And then I started to think about my whole life before Chile, going back to the very beginning, because I wanted to figure out how I got to be who I was, whoever I was. Not what I had become, not anything to do with any success I've had, but who I'd become as a person. Because I think I was doing that because I wanted to figure out what I was going to do about being alive, because I didn't know if I was going to have this extra bonus of a life. This is all free time I've got now, these past 3 years and whatever time I have in the future. I really cherish it, and I want to get the most juice out of it. So I wanted to go back and think about it from the beginning, and I have memories that go back until I was 2 years old, and I had a very, very weird childhood.